One of the questions I'll ask the four panel members just briefly. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. I'd like to deal with some of the questions that have come in. Geraldine Gilbert has asked, can we give any examples, maybe one example each if it's possible, of organizations, firms, companies that are doing a great job of activating their role in the shifting the wider food environment. So through advocacy, collaboration, public messaging, somebody who's getting the message about their commitment to sustainable nutrition across really well. Is there a couple of companies that we could call out as doing a tremendous job there?
Well, I'll jump in with one. It's really
Thanks,
behind the
Jack.
scenes rather than out in front, and that's Google. Google feeds 100,000 people every day 3 meals, and they've done a lot of research on behavioral science. How do we shift behavior in order to help people to make good choices without sort of forcing them to do it? They've worked with the Culinary Institute of America, supported
Yeah,
a 70-hour course on how to make vegetables amazing. So, they're very much aware, one, of the behavioral aspect of it, and two, that if things aren't amazing and great, people aren't going to do it. And so,
yeah,
one example of a company, but it's mostly behind the scenes.
yeah. I love to go and visit my former students in Google. The lunches down there are pretty terrific, I have to say. That's a good one, Jack. Thank you. Beatrice Xiao Juan.
So speaking about a big multinational, for example, Unilever is doing great work regarding regenerative agriculture. So as I mentioned, generating that demand for better products will be very important for farmers to feel incentivized to make a shift. So as a large scale company, they are trying to move the needle. And as a new initiative, as I mentioned, Patagonia, with Patagonia Provisions, they are acquiring and supporting, investing in many brands that are generating that demand, as I mentioned, Moonshot Snacks or Long Roots Ale. Just a couple examples.
Super. Thank you, Beatrice. Juan or Xiao? Xiao, I think you
Yeah,
were you were ready to go the last time.
yeah. I was thinking of one of our retail partners here at How Good, with whom we've been working for the last 8 years, Ahold Delhaize. They're one of the biggest retailers in both the United States and Europe. And for 7 years now, they've been putting on their e-commerce engines sustainability and nutrition ratings. The sustainability ratings are powered by How Good for tens of thousands of products. And so any consumer that is buying on a Ahold Delhaize store, for example, in the United States, can filter the search results based on the nutrition ratings and the sustainability ratings. And the fact that it has, this started 7 years ago, I think it really shows both kind of, the visionary aspect of Ahold Delhaize's commitment, but also it really speaks to, retailers wanting to do this regardless of whether or not the regulation is there at the moment, and start with what we have, because progress is better than perfection.
Super. Thanks, Xiao. Juan, one company.
Yeah, I think that if I were to name the usual big companies, it might be less insightful for the audience. But I do think that the big guys are investing a lot, and we're talking. It's coming. I did the calculation the other day how many commitments we have in regenerative agriculture, and it's in the billions, right? It's still small, but a lot of people are committing billions into regen ag, right? The big guys. That's I would name, maybe not to necessarily PepsiCo, Unilever have all made commitments there, and they are really spending the money. But I would take a small brand. I'll talk from the consumer, right? In a category which is very often not perceived as sustainable, burgers, right? The burger is meat, etc. And so it's impossible to beat McDonald's or Burger King at that. Well, that's not true, right? You go to Sweden, there's a brand called Max Burger, who's the most sustainable burger in the world, probably. And they are the leading brand in market share. They started as a startup, but they're number one now in the market. And the Swedes love their burgers. I can tell you, I've lived in
Yeah,
Copenhagen there, and when you go to
yeah,
Malmö, you have big hamburgers everywhere. Max Burger, number one brand there. Okay, so there's hope for everybody, guys.
yeah. I think Max Burger is a terrific example. A company that measures its sustainability as Yao has advocated, tries very hard to think about its role in the food system, as Jack has outlined, and very much connected to Beatrice. And I think these guys are food heroes. No question about it.